Welcome to episode 3 of Breed to Succeed. Our tour of the world of bloodstock has this time brought us to the beautiful Kensington Palace for the Goffs London Sale. This is a truly unique event. It's been going 11 years now and it's a garden party mixed with a horse sale. There's 29 lots to go through the ring this evening and plenty of them have got entries at Royal Ascot this week, so we should see plenty of drama. Horses sold here this evening could be in that Royal Ascot winners enclosure in just a few hours' time. As we were there, let's start at Goffs London, where a late afternoon of socialising in the sun gave way to the serious business of selling. As expected, the Group 1 placed Ghostwriter was the top lot, selling for £2 million after Ammo Racing's Keir Drabchan outbid John Stewart. Ammo's bloodstock agent Alex Elliott explained the thinking behind the purchase.
Ghostwriter was the highest rated horse in the sale. I remember at the end of his 2-year-old career, he won the Royal Lodge for Clive Cox, and there was a lot of stud farms trying to buy him. He comes from, he's obviously a son of Invincible Spirit, very good looking horse, very well bought by David Bowe as a foal on behalf of Jeff Smith. And he's from the family of Zaphonic. So when he won the Royal Lodge, there was a lot of farms looking for the horse. He then, at 3, he probably bashed his head against the wall a little bit, but he's come back at 4 and he ran well into Dubai. And we can either keep the horse here, which we'll probably do for Saturday in the hard weight, living with Clive, and then we can maybe look further afield. Keir's got a big presence in America now, and I feel we all felt as a team that this horse could do very well stateside.
Over in the US, the Fuzzy-Tipton Mid-Atlantic sale in Maryland suffered from adverse wet weather, but that didn't stop buyers digging deep. Top lot was a Girvin filly who sold to Kerry Radcliffe and Alex Elliott for $1.1 million. She's another one who will join that Ammo Racing battalion. Saudi-based Sedan Racing took home the second highest lot, a Violence colt who sold to agent Donato Lani for just over $1 million. Into Mischief remains in demand, and a bay son of his was joint third highest through the ring, selling to Mahmood Mooney for $1 million flat, the same price commanded by a Nyquist colt. Akala was back in action for OBS June, traditionally a more affordable ready-to-run sale. Top lot here was a Curlin filly who sold to agent Gus King for $975,000, a new record for this sale. It was a jump down to the second top lot, my racehorse going to $525,000 for a daughter of Gunrunner. We're going to take a trip away from London all the way to Victoria, Australia and go inside the gates of Rosemont Stud.
Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. I think he's the only stallion in the world that has breeding right holders both Godolphin and Coolmore, which is quite unique. These breeding giants, global breeding giants that have bloodstock all over the world, we're not that. We're a minnow in the game, but we're a little business pretending to be a big one here at Rosemont. But those big breeding giants of the world, Godolphin, Coolmore, Juddmonte, the Aga Khan, they need farms like ours to be up and enthusiastic and doing a bit of work on their behalf. Certainly, my first taste of the shuttle stallion, which is effectively a horse that stands both in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere, so not a lot of rest for them, unfortunately. When they're in demand in both hemispheres, you need a partner farm if you don't have a farm in the other hemisphere. So my first exposure to that was really Star Spangled Banner as a part owner with Coolmore. Star Spangled Banner he's a horse that is so dear to my heart. So began a relationship with Coolmore that I must say I've enjoyed immeasurably over the course of the last sort of 15 years. Started a little rocky, I must say. They weren't too pleased that they had some no-namer from Geelong who'd bought a small percentage of Star Spangled Banner and was going to sort of, they thought, cause them a little grief. I was pretty quick to point out that I was their friend, not their foe, and I was as keen as they were to try and make the horse a success. Star Spangled Banner, believe it or not, was born here at Rosemont, then Mackay, under the guise of and the guidance of Tony Santic. Tony Santic bred Star Spangled Banner. Cornwall won't mind me saying they were ready to geld him. I put my foot down and said no, and he turned up at Royal Ascot with 4, I think, of his first crop of only 29 horses, winning at Royal Ascot as 2-year-olds. It was phenomenal, and some might say that journey wouldn't have happened without me stamping my feet in a fit of rage, demanding that they don't take a scalpel to him. I was just turned 30 and had a decision to make about where my career was going. I was a journalist and a TV presenter, and being an arrogant 30-year-old who got my head on the TV, I thought, I reckon that looks pretty easy. I've subsequently learned in the 25 years since that it's not that easy, and you've got to work darn hard at it. You've got to have some good people around you. And I thought I could become a better punter by understanding the breeding. That wasn't a great theory, but it led to a fascination about breeding that still exists today. You've got to have your wits about you in any deal that you do in business. I'm an open book, and the most successful deal is a successful deal for both parties. There's no doubt that that's what we're able to do with Henry Longfellow, being, a son of Debarwi, Group 1 winning 2-year-old by Debarwi. We thought there was no hope that we were able to secure his services to shuttle to our farm when Cornwall have their own operation in the Hunter Valley. They had City of Troy to worry about. Let me do a bit of work on your behalf. I can be a beneficiary. You guys get the bulk share of it. It's a cooperative, really, between 2 stud farms looking for a common goal, and that is, let's breed the best possible horses in the best environment we can, regardless of where that is in the world. It's a relationship game. It's very much about horse flesh, but it's also about the relationships you build because of these beautiful animals.
Schwartz halfway up the straight, 100 to go. Benedetta's trying to wear it down. Schwartz netting the post. Benedetta a length away. Schwartz will do it all. Schwartz has won the Group 1 from Benedetta.
He's been a significant horse for the farms. Needle in a haystack stuff, this, what we're doing. If he's not the best stallion in the country, he's pretty close to it and has been for the last couple of years. So what does everyone go and look for? They look for the best son of the best stallion in the country. We found him. Rock star, Hollywood, good looks, and a pedigree to die for. If Schwartz isn't the answer to breeders' wants, I don't know what is, to be honest.
Anthony Mithun and Rosemont Stud have spent millions of dollars and countless hours chasing a Group 1 winner with a stallion prospect, and it now comes in the form of Schwartz.
Having 2 brilliant options like Schwartz and Henry Longfellow new to our roster this year that have international appeal, the best son of Zoostar and a Group 1 winning 2-year-old by Debarwi out of the best mare that Galileo has ever produced. For us, it's a great opportunity to show the world stage that we can do it here at a great facility with some great people that you've met today who work for me, and with some great horse flesh.
Why do auctioneers use a gavel or hammer? It's another one for tradition. It dates back to the 17th century, when it was a way for the auctioneer to capture attention during what could be a rowdy sales arena. The noise made by the gavel signified the end of the sale. Once the hammer goes down, it's done.
Well, Jamie Lloyd might not like me saying that he's about to be 44, but he's done an awful lot in 44 years. You've trained successfully in the States. You now run a farm, a beautiful farm, which seems to do everything. So I imagine that you're pretty happy and pretty busy with life?
Yeah, it's been a good year. We were really fortunate this year. We've been very fortunate to have great clients. The farm does, as you say, have to do a lot of things. You kind of have to be competitive, you kind of have to sort of throw your hand into everything and be able to do most, all the challenges that you meet. So we do a lot of pre-training. Last 4 or 5 years, we've broken nearly all Carl Burke's horses. We also have the horses for Sheikh Ahmed and a few, some really good clients there.
And how big is the operation in terms of what's the sort of capacity here, how many staff, that sort of thing?
So it's 185 acres. There's 2 different gallops. Obviously George Baker set the place up originally and we've developed it since then. Since we bought it, we've been here 12 years. At our busiest in the winter, we'll have about 160 horses on the place. And there's probably around about 100 now.
And give us some of the success stories on the pre-training side.
Well, that's the thing. When you hook your wagon to the right horse, unfortunately with Carl, I mean, he's provided us with some amazing days for the farm. It's such a pleasure to be able to, he's such a great person to work with. We're very fortunate that he backs us and sticks with us, and he comes and visits the farm regularly. A lot of the Sheikh Mohammed Obeid horses, his homebreds and things, they all come through here. It's one of the best, it is probably the best team in racing to be associated with. It's such a professional outfit, and they're very, very easy to work with, very straightforward to work with. We have a good working relationship with them.
Yeah, he's very, very professional.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, pre-training, when do they come, what do you do with them, or when do they leave?
We routinely probably wouldn't start with them until October 1st, so the ones that come from the earlier yearling sales, like from France and things, we quite often would give a break. If it's acceptable to the owners, we'll try and give them a bit of a break. We probably started a tad early this year because we knew we were going to be a little bit busier. We ended up with a lot of horses from Book 1, which was fantastic for Carl, but I think we ended up with about £16 million worth of yearlings coming in from Book 1, which was probably unprecedented for us. And it was just a pleasure to be around such nice horses. But Carl's case, he'll come and assess them and see which ones need to be in and which ones need more time, which ones need a break, which ones need to go and have a stint and come back. It's sort of very much led by the trainers rather than us.
And you train very successfully, as I said, in America for a few years.
Yeah.
Does anything you do now match the buzz of having a winner as a trainer?
I think, yeah. So my wife used to describe it that when she told people that her husband was a trainer, she said she had a husband with a bad habit, or a nasty habit. So this gives definitely itches to scratch, if you like. When you're out there every morning on the gallops and you're seeing these fantastic horses, it definitely satisfies that urge and then stops me from wanting to actually take my licence back out myself, which I wouldn't do.
And talk to us about the breeding side of things, because of beautiful facilities, lots of happy little foals.
Yeah.
What's the sort of scale of that?
So we usually have between 25 and 30 resident broodmares on the place. We've got a lot of local people that send their mares here to foal or board their mares here. You're
telling me your daughter's 12 and she's got all the foaling cameras in her room?
She does, yeah. They're in every screen in the room, in the house, but they're in her room in particular, and she watches them all night. And she gets very upset if she comes down in the morning and sees a foal on the camera and she hasn't been woken up to go and help participate in its delivery.
It's a posthumous one this time. Juddmont's Zenda. Not only the dam of 4-time Group 1 winner and now top sire Kingman, Zenda was a good racehorse herself, winning the Group 1 French 1000 Guineas back in 2002 for trainer John Gosden. In her second career, she not only produced Kingman, but also 5 other winners, before passing away in 2019. She earns our Broodmare of the Month accolade thanks to her daughter Multilingual, who failed to win but produced this year's Oaks winner Minnie Hawk, as well as Ascot Summer Mile winner Tilsit.
Coming in every day, it's different every day really. Could be 4 or 5 foals born overnight. You have to update clients. It's a great place to work. We followed from early on in his racing career. He first came on our radar as a 2-year-old when he won the Doncaster Sales race for Richard Hannon, and he went on to win a stakes race at 2, 3 and 4. So he's an exciting addition to the Stallion roster as the first son of Ivana Gray in Ireland. He ran 12 times as a 3-year-old and he ran 10 times as a 4-year-old, twice Group 1 placed and multiple stakes winner, as I said. He's a very athletic horse. I think his walk's exceptional. As a lot of the Ivana Greys, they all seem to have a great action. Not overly big, but plenty of substance, great shape of a horse as well. And I think he's going to go down quite well with the breeders of Ireland. Yeah, Lucky Vega, it's a strange one that I suppose a horse that was raced in Europe would have his first runners in Australia, but so far he's had a great start. He's had 5 runners, 2 winners, 2 black type horses, and within the law is a dual stakes winner We're very excited to see what he's going to do up here now. The reports from the breakers and the breeze up guys seem to be quite positive so far. They ended up in great homes. You know, Richard Hannon has 6 or 7, Joseph O'Brien has a couple, Jessica Harrington, Roger Varian, John Gosden, you know, the list goes on. He covered over 40 black type producers in his first book for a €15,000 stallion. That's, you know, that was very high quality. He's one to watch hopefully for this year.
And Nando Prado, again, a proper fast horse. Is that his best attribute, do you think, that breeders like?
He's a good square horse. He's a typical Kodiak, but probably a little bit taller. Very good looking horse. He was 160,000 guineas foal. That was the most expensive foal Paul McCartan's ever bought, and still is. We're very hopeful that he's going to prove a success as well. The sons of Kodiak that have gone to stud so far have performed quite well. You know, Cody Bear, Coolsty, Ardad, and last year Hello Yumzane performed very well. They ended up in great homes again, a lot of them in with the trainers in England and Ireland, which was very important for him that they remained on Irish and English shores. So fingers crossed he can perform at a level as well. Phoenix of Spain, I guess he's the furthest one along in terms of runners with our stallion roster. He has his first crop of 4-year-old runners next year. The 3-year-olds performed quite well last year off the back of his first crop of 2-year-olds. Hatem improved from 2 to 3. He was second in the Irish Guineas, just beaten by Stallion, third in the English Guineas, and he went on to win the Jersey. We're very excited to see what he's going to do as a 4-year-old. He's also got Lady of Spain, who's unbeaten for Roger Varian. She won her first 4 starts. He covered a lot of mares last year off the back of Hatem's good runs in both Guineas. He covered over 200 mares, so look, I suppose that just shows you at that point in time everyone fancied his chances of being a successful sire, and we're still hopeful that he's going to do the business.
It's been a week of making future stallions here at Royal Ascot across the 8 Group 1s. So many exciting horses that will go on and have an impact in the breeding sheds. That's it from this Breed to Succeed. It's been wonderful to take you to the Goffs London Sale, to go all the way to Australia. We'll see you again very soon.